If it doesn't hurt at all, then nothing left to say. Boom, 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 boom. If it doesn't hurt at all, then it doesn't mean a thing. Running right back, running right back. All right, chat. Looking at the chat. Who's here? Who's here in chat? Let's see who's in the chat. Is there at least 50 people? 37? All right. All right. So we could pretty much see it's a bear market. I mean, we got 37 viewers, man. Everyone left. So let's just prepare. Bro, there's 38 people in here. It's a fucking bear market, bro. I mean, come on. Are we really having this debate, dude? We can't even get 50 viewers. It's a bear market. Let's just accept it. Bitcoin Bajan. I appreciate the 10, man. I appreciate that a lot. I'm here with was looking forward to stream all day. You are the best YouTuber. I appreciate the 10, man. Can we look at Swift coin, fingers crossed, it goes up from here, 5 cents, if not 9. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Bajan. Listen, my brother, my buddy, you have to open your brain at least to the possibility we might be in a bear market. Hey, I thought I told you. Wait a second. I told you when you bought this. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not just saying this. I'm almost certain I told you that it's up to you if you want to sell or not. There is a possibility it comes back up here for a double top. Remember? It always does this. You may have a chance to exit here. Didn't I say that to you? Because it was bouncing off the 786 or something, right? I don't remember. But I remember saying something that you might get a second chance. I also said you might not, but I did remember saying that usually you get a second chance to get out before it goes down again. Look, right here. Now, I can't guarantee you, my brother, that there's going to be a third opportunity to get out. This is your second chance to get out. So you got to ask yourself, are you going to get out or are you going to hold? Because if you get a double top rejection here, this is actually the third attempt. Look, you got 1, you rejected. 2, you rejected. This is the third try. So if you don't get out here and it rolls over, I don't think you're going to get another chance to get out. I think this is your last chance to get out. So it's up to you if you want to get out. The data says it's going to roll over. The whole planet is looking for a bounce on crypto. So if it is going to bounce, now would be the time. It's up to you. I can't make the decision for you if you want to sell it. But if you sell it now, you are selling at resistance. If you hold it, you're going to bet that the resistance is going to break. But I can't tell you 5 cents, my brother. I mean, listen, if it's a bull market, and Bitcoin makes a new all-time high for the first time ever after breaking every single bull market indicator, I still don't think you would get 5 cents. Because you got to look at it from this perspective. This coin has been going down all year. Bitcoin has only been going down for 2 months. So if Bitcoin goes up and makes a new all-time high, you might only get a 618 retracement to 17, and then it would go down again. Why do I think that? Because Bitcoin made a new all-time high and you only got a 618 retracement. So, actually you got a 0.5 retracement. So could you get a lucky bounce to 1.8 cents? It is, but it's gambling and it's not necessarily likely. So it is up to you if you want to sell it. This could be your second chance to sell. I can't tell you what I think. If it were me and I bought the top and I had a second chance to get my money back, I would probably just sell it and move on. But this is your second chance to sell. You are forming a double top at the 382. Sorry, at the 236 retracement. You can see you formed a double top here. You formed a double top here. You formed a triple top here. Maybe you do get a third chance, maybe you don't, but it's up to you if you want to sell or not. But yeah, it is considered bearish below 67. If you can get over 67, you should spike to 96. And if you can get over 96, that probably suggests that Bitcoin is back over 100,000. So, which may happen. It's gambling. When the coin is this bearish, it's gambling because the odds are not in your favor. But again, it's getting a double top rejection at the 236 retracement. It always gets a double top rejection before it moves lower. So you're betting against the odds that it's going to break through. Maybe it does, but that's the gamble you take. If it were me, I would probably just take the sell at the resistance, and if it pumps, so be it. But that's up to you, man. But even if it's a bull market, I can't tell you 5 cents, dude. It's just too high, honestly. Because, I mean, you got to look at it from this perspective, too. This coin, dude, did a 100x from the bottom, man. Actually did a 60x from the bottom. So from the big picture, I mean, at some point, there is going to be a retracement. But every time this thing bounces, yeah, I mean, you're actually getting it right now at the 618 retracement. So it's up to you if you want to sell. You would be selling into 236. If you don't sell and it ends up pushing higher, I would say that 1 cent would be the top before it gets slammed. So it's up to you. I'm not going to tell you to sell. You are at the 236 retracement, which could be the top. I know you said you bought in at the top, so this is your chance to escape. But, you know, maybe it breaks out and you get to 98. But I can't tell you 5 cents. That's way too high, man. If we were still over the bull market support, I'd be having a different tune. I'd be saying, yeah, not impossible. But we're actually sitting on the moving average that signals the end of the bear market. So I can't really run around saying, oh my God, dude, we're going to go up. When we're the only reason we're not going straight down right now is because if we went any lower, we'd be breaking the market structure to the bear market. But you see how in 2014 you bounced off this moving average and then 3 months later you went down? In 2022, you bounced off this moving average. 3 months later, we went down. We already bounced off the moving average almost 2 weeks ago. So 3 months after November is what? December, January, February? If we don't break 100K by February, my guess would be you're at this red moving average in the summer, which is 56K. So if you want to hold on to that, you know, if you want to hold on to Swift coin, banking on the bull market, you are going against the data, but I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong. I can't tell you to buy or sell. But the data says the bull run has ended. So I can't tell you 5 cents Swift coin. Even, especially since Bitcoin made a new all-time high, even here, and the coin still went down. So it's like, it went down in a bull market. I don't know how it would go up in a bear market. But the data does suggest that it is a bear market. So I have to show you the data. If you want to bet against the data, that is up to you. And that's that. But I do appreciate the 10, man. It helps out a lot. But I appreciate the 10, man. That is awesome. How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight? Give me a hell yeah. Hell yeah. How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight? Give me a hell yeah. Major General Tao for 2 says data is beta, bro. I appreciate the 2. I don't know what that means. Data is beta. Like a beta male? I could be a beta male. Beta boy. Beta bull boy. Bull boy. Co-part or bull boy. Co-part or bull boy. I appreciate the 2. I appreciate the 2. We'll be back to bull in no time. I mean, you'll be surprised, dude, how fast it goes. Cause look at it this way. Look at it this way, okay? At some point in the next 2 to 3 months, we should get a rally. Now, historically, we should get stuck around 100K. Now, the thing is, this is so close together that it's not even going to feel like it's that big of a rally. Like if we go like this and then we spike up like this and get stuck, if this ends up happening in February and we get stuck in February, that actually signals that this is your last chance to get out at 100K for probably a year or 2 years actually. But the thing is, if this ends up happening in February, now you're not even 10 months away from the bull market. So I do think it's going to go fast because you usually spend about 3 months in this area before the next move comes. It's not just in 2022. Now, in 2018, it was slightly different because we just did nothing for months. But if you actually look at the other coins, I'm pretty sure from this point, Ethereum started going straight down. If we look from April of 2018, yeah. So if you look at this, from April of 2018, Ethereum went straight down. So like if we see this happen again, we'll know, like, dude, you got to get out. But I don't necessarily think this is going to happen again because ETH-BTC was falling in 2018. And I don't think we're going to get that this time because it already fell. That doesn't mean it can happen. But yes, if we get this rally, which listen, maybe we don't, but even if it is a bear market, you should still get some type of bounce. But if you don't sell on that bounce, then yeah, it's pretty much GG. I mean, you could see, I like the Gaussian channel more than the moving averages, but you could see we just float in this channel for a little while. So I hope we don't go down. I really hope, I really hope that we just go like this until February, because then it'll let you know this is where we are. If we go lower, it's like, yeah, it's a bear market, but then everything that worked in the past doesn't work anymore. Because normally you're not supposed to break down from here until the bear market is going to put the bottom in. Like once we broke down from here, we just went straight down. So I'm kind of hoping that we just do nothing for like 2 months. Which is why I'm telling you this, because if we, for the people that are still not sure, which I get it, as a moon boy, I do understand you, but you have to listen. If we are still below $100,000 in February, it is telling you this is your last chance before we go straight down. Because you can see the entire bull market, we were over the Gaussian channel. This is the first time we're in it, which tells me that the trend has changed, you know? And I think the moving averages from that perspective paint a better picture. I think personally we're here, but it's like flipped. So you see how you broke the green moving average and then it was bullish, but a lot of people were like, no, it's not bullish yet because we weren't doing anything. Now you're doing the same thing. I'm telling you, I think it's the same thing. It's just backwards. Now that we broke the moving average, it's like, it's still bullish. And that's why if we do this, you'll have a lot of people say it's bullish, but this is bearish because you're doing the same thing you did here. And then when you broke this blue moving average, you went straight up. Now this time, if we break the blue moving average, you're going to go straight down because that's what always happens. So for the people that are still holding on to hopium, you can make the hopium all you want, right? If we get over the green moving average again, then so be it. But if it comes to March or February and we're still below 100,000, that's the market telling you you're right here. I think, look, even in 2018, man, it's like this is a legit phenomenon. You bounce off of this moving average and you don't break it until the bottom is coming. The bottom is coming. The bottom is coming. Warn everyone, the bottom is coming. So I actually really don't want us to go down. Like even here, man. You broke the moving average. You didn't want to believe it was bearish. And then you just bounce. And then when you break this moving average, it's over. I mean, the bear market's over pretty much. So for the people in the back that are holding on to hope, I think, like, I get it. I understand. I do. But everything is suggesting that we're here. Which means you should still get a chance to escape, depending on what you're holding. But if we are still here in February, it's letting you know, like, all right, Charlie, it's over. Like, if you still have hope, basically. Which is what I hope this ends up happening. Because I'm trying to prepare. But, again, if you just look, I mean, you could just see, man. We just broke. Dude, there's just no way. Look. The fucking guy broke down. It broke down, man. Look at it. Look at it. Usually you go from green to gray to red to gray to green, and now we're gray again. So you could argue that we're here, but it's reversed. Just like this. So right now we're gray. It just turned gray, but if you lower the time frames, it's like, I mean, look, you got a blue arrow, man. The last time you got a blue arrow was right here. So that's why I'm saying, for me personally, if we're still below 100K by February, that's it. Which I hope that's what happens. I hope we just chop around. Which is going to suck for YouTube because you can see the views are already dead. Oh, this is 165 people, but the YouTube videos are doing so poorly already. And that also tells me that everyone left. But I mean, the fact that we're again getting the same exact arrow in the same exact spot, I would be surprised if it does the same exact thing, but I mean, it might. It fucking might, dude. This actually says we're going down in February, and then the bottom is in October. But it is scary that it's printing the same exact signals on every indicator. It's really, really bizarre. I would be shocked if it did the same exact thing again. Honestly. I hope it does, but I don't know. That's very rare to do the same exact thing. The thing that's scary is you're already turning blue on the 3-day time frame, man. Look. It's turning blue already. It hasn't been blue since 2022. Which again, you turn blue right here. Now you could argue you turn blue here, which is valid, but then you put the moving average on, and remember, you didn't break the moving average. Back here, you see? But here we did. So hopefully we get a bounce, but it doesn't go that high. This way people can just get out and then we can make some type of plan. But I could just see the shift in the views. I mean, the views are going down. Look at that, 150 people, man. Look, the views are dying. We didn't even get 1,000 views on this video, which is kind of sad, but that's not bullish. I mean, look, we were at 2.4, 2.8, 2.8, 2.1, 1.9, 2, then 1.5, 1.5. This one will probably do like 1.4. That's not good, man. That sucks. But again, I think the fact that Doge is still bleeding too is another foreshadow. Because if you go back and look, at the same, again, if you go back and look at where the indicators were doing the same thing, Doge was bleeding even though Bitcoin wasn't, which is another sign that that's where we are. And now the views going down also tells me that too. So essentially you could be looking for this, which would put it down as 6 cents. Yeah, like 6 cents for Doge, which from here would be 50%. It sucks that so many people already left. We were doing good, man. We had 300 viewers the whole time and now everyone's gone. That sucks. Did I have the chili cheese burrito? I think I did. I think so. Let me see. Chili cheese burrito. I thought I did. Yeah, here it is. 380 views? Okay. Yeah, right here, big boy. Chili cheese burrito. So, I think apparently Ethereum is coming out with an upgrade, so that's going to make people bullish. Like we really should get some type of rally, man. Oh, I posted a bearish ass chart in the Discord too. Yeah, look at this, man. Now this is a random indicator, so don't take it to the bank. But if you look at this, it's just so bad, man. It's so fucked. You know, like look at this. Look at this, dude. You could just see it. It's about to go straight down. Get fucked. It sucks, man. What a shitty bull run. Yeah, by the time this thing starts crashing, it's already bearish. That's the problem. That's why this indicator sucks. But yeah, by the time it starts crashing, you're already bearish. So, kind of sucks. But we started crashing in September. And it doesn't even bottom at the bottom either. Which I guess technically if you buy in when this indicator bottoms, that's actually not horrible. Because you didn't get the exact bottom in 2020, whatever. But like if you bought in here and you didn't have COVID, you pretty much bought in right before the bull run. But yeah, even this says it's over. Maybe start the bull run. Retail's coming back in March. Why is that? I'm eating 2 chili cheese burritos and shitting in a Christmas stocking. Come on, man, that's inappropriate. I was up 1,600 on Doge. Now I'm minus 80. Everyone's at Costco right now. Nah, the views are going down. Listen, I accept it. All right, I am. I'm accepting it. I have to try and see how I can maneuver out of here, which is why I kind of hope we bounce from here. That would be nice. But what I think could be happening here is, this is going to sound weird at first, but hear me out. I think the market is treating August as the top for everything else because Ethereum topped in August. So if you look at the Tether dominance, and you take this cutout like this, it doesn't line up because it bottomed in August, even though back here it bottomed in November with Bitcoin. So if this is true, which I kind of hope it isn't, it actually says we should start crashing in January, and that the major low is going to be in April, which doesn't really make any sense, right? If that kind of sounds dumb, which the bottom wouldn't be in April, but like essentially this would be in April. So basically this is the same thing, but like, yeah, see, look, you see how if you connect it to the top, it says we shouldn't start going down until February. And the major, yeah, look, the major low would be in April, and then the bottom would be in September or October. Right? That's so weird. I feel like that's not going to happen. But it's worth noting. Because last time we started going down in March, but the top was in November. So if the top is in October now, I mean, going down in February doesn't really seem that far-fetched, I guess. That's why the crash might be over faster. But here's the thing, man. If we're still below 100K in February, you're already 4 months in. October, November, December, January, February, 5 months in. That's why for me, if I could just make it to March without losing any more money, I feel like I would survive, because then you know it's going straight down. But I can only show you the indicators, and they're all bearish, man. I wish I had a bullish indicator, but I don't. I mean, here's another one. Look, once we break this green moving average, we go straight down. So it's almost like we can't go down right now. We have to stay here for another month or two. Which is why once we break 80K, we're going to go straight down to the bottom. Look, even back here, dude. We can't go down right now. We have to stay up here. We should. I have faith we're going to stay up here for another 2 months. Azizan. I have faith we're going to bounce for 2 more months. QE is ending the Moon Boys? No, I don't think QE is coming. Yeah, what happens if we come to December and they say no rate cut? That's bearish, right? But I'm not listening to the headlines because, bro, there were so many headlines all year and we still didn't go up. So I don't even care about the QE bullshit. And then I look at MicroStrategy, and MicroStrategy says we're going down in January too, which doesn't make any sense. But look. Oh no, it says February. Yeah, it says January. I don't know, man. It can't be this simple. But then you put the guppy on here and it's doing the same shit, bro. Like, look. Look at this, dude. Look, it's turning blue already. Yeah, we might be in here, chat. I am telling you. We might bounce for like January, February, and then that might be it. Look, you already got the red arrow with the blue. That's what happened last time. You got the blue arrow, then you got the red with the blue strings. That's exactly where we are right now. So it's almost like a bounce is coming, but if it fails, that's your last chance to exit. Which for some people, the last chance to exit already passed because the coins are so bearish. Oh, look, we're getting red on the 2-day now. We never had that, chat. Chat. Chat, red alert. We're getting red bands for the first time. Yeah, it's over, bro. It's fucking over, man. It's over, chat. It's over, man. It was a good try. It was our best attempt yet. But we gotta prepare for the next round. Yeah, look. Dude, look. It's printing blue bars now. We just have to accept it, man. Which is... I really hope we get this bounce. Even in, I think, 2014, yeah. I think someone pointed out the Bollinger Bands, and this was the first time in history where the weekly candle is just floating. Oh no, they made it touch. Okay. Yeah, last time it wasn't touching, but now it is because we bounced. But look, I mean, you can see we're underneath the bands now. Yeah, I mean, there's another signal right here. Look, we're below the green band. The entire bull market, we were above the green band. Yeah, it's it, man. We should be fine though. We should bounce for like 2 months. Oh, this is a good one. 10-day bear. That might help. Hold on. Yeah, we don't have a 9-day bear candle. You got an 8-day bear. Yeah, we're fucked. We got an 8-day bear too. So what are we looking for? 10-day bear? Yeah. Maybe I already have that. Let me see. Why is this not cooperating? Come on. Go start a business. Crypto has changed for the worst. Yeah, crypto was not what it once was, unfortunately. Is it possible to get a bounce in old season? Nah, that there doesn't seem to be an old season. I mean, here's a statistic, man. Again, I'm not trying to give you opinions, which the whole live stream is obviously my opinion, because none of this is financial advice, but the reality is you've never had an old season when the moving average is broke. Never. So people that are selling hopium that were bull running, it's hopium. And take it as a retired hopium dealer. I know all the gimmicks, brother. and I ingested my own supply. Which last time I actually did very well ingesting my own supply, but I ended up failing in the end. Which again, at some point you overdose on your own supply. So I'm recovering. I'm a recovering addict. But never in NBA history in the shot clock era have you ever broken this moving average and had old season. It's never happened. Never. So for people to say it, you're betting on something that literally has never happened before. Which some people don't care. And I mean, if it happens, it happens, but I can't come on here telling you that something can happen when it's never happened before. Have things happened before that have never happened? Sure. But the data set, and like, here's the thing, here's the kicker. If we weren't going down, you would have an argument. But we're going down. So it's like, you don't even have a case because it's not like we're not going down. And for me, the biggest thing, I know some people probably weren't watching, but when we were up at 95, 94K, I remember saying, I was like, I hope it just goes down to 80K and stops so we know where we are. And we did. We stopped at 80K because we're stopping on this Gaussian channel and it never breaks on the first try. Or at least not until later in the market cycle. So I'm glad we stopped here. Like even here, yeah, you broke it on your first try, but you sat in the channel for months. Even back here, you didn't break it on your first try. You sat here for months. So it's like the fact that we hit the bottom and now we're doing nothing, which the entire market cycle we were outside of the channel. You know? Like I can't tell you old season when it's just never happened. It's every single time you've come into this channel, you've come out the other side. Every single time. And that's why this is a neutral indicator, because the same thing is true for the bear market. When you come in from the bottom, you always come out the other side. And when it comes out the other side, it's bullish. Like even in 2019, you got sucked in, and then when you came out the other side, you rallied by 82%. That's a lot. Even here, you got sucked in, you came out the other side. So unfortunately, we already got sucked in. So now it's only a matter of time before we get pooped out the other side. But when you get pooped out the other side, that's when you go straight down. This is what I call suffocation. The market is so bearish that it gets suffocated. Right now, we're being, they got the plastic bags over our heads, but they didn't tie the knot yet, so you can still breathe a little bit. That's why on my chart that I'm making, I'm looking under every rock, so I'm 100% sure we're about to go straight down. Which we don't have any of those signals yet, which is why we should just do nothing. But yeah, I think now that November is over, you actually have a really strong argument for a 2022 repeat. I think I said this yesterday. Because now December is going to have another candle down here, which is exactly what happened in 2022. You had 3 red candles, 2 green, and then I mean, if you think about it from an optimistic perspective, again, once you made it to the spring, the bear market, it wasn't over, but it's only hard to accept when the price isn't doing anything. Like once we saw the market just rug pulling, it was like, holy shit. We didn't get that yet. So people are still skeptical, which is why I think if we could just make it to March, and if we don't go, like, listen, if we don't make a new all-time high by March, I mean, you'd have to accept reality, you know? Like, come on, man. You're even doing the same fucking structure too, where it's like making a head and shoulder, like not a head and shoulders, but some type of neckline. I think I posted this already in the Discord server. Hold on. Yeah, I think I already posted this. Let me see. Oh, this is an important chart. I know I already shared this with you, but I'm going to share it with you again. Dude, this is massive. So this is the supply of Bitcoin in loss. And you can see that throughout 2024 and 2025, we made higher lows. And you can see that the supply and loss was making lower lows, which means the trend was bullish. You see how from the bottom here, it was a high, then you made a higher low in the price here, and you made a lower low. Then you made another higher low, and you made another lower low, and then you made another higher low up here. See? And then you made another lower low. This is the first time we made a higher high, even though we still made a higher low, which also tells me the trend is now bearish. And the same thing happened here. Look, you made a higher low in price, but you made a higher high in loss. But this was also a higher low, but this was a lower low. This was a lower high. Yeah, I can't say it happened back here because you were making lower highs, but you get the idea. We made a higher high, which is bearish. There was another chart that I made though. This wasn't it, but this is similar too. I mean, you could just see, look at where we are. We're in the middle of the channel with a bear signal. Bear signal. Here you could say, oh, you had a bear signal, but you weren't inside the channel. Oh, you can't even see it. You see the difference? And you're forming the same structure too. And then this was a big one as well. Look. I forget what time frame this is, but when this RSI breaks below the middle, you actually go down for capitulation. So by the time this moving average crosses down, it's already, the bear market's about to be over. So we're not there yet, but look, we made a lower low on the RSI. Like, people think that when the RSI going down and the price isn't, that's bullish. It's not. This is bearish. I mean, you could just see the shoulder, the head, and the shoulder. It's so bad, man. And this is projected to be in March as well, because I measured the distance from when it breaks down, when it breaks down, when it breaks down, and it says March. So we should start going straight down in March, which is why I keep saying if it's a bull market, we got to make a new all-time high before that, which is why if we are still below 100,000 in February, then you know where we are. But I mean, I don't want to overcomplicate it either, which is why I use the moving averages, which the whole planet is using the moving averages. But listen, everyone keeps saying that, oh, everyone is saying it's a bear market. Dude, if I go on YouTube, there's still moon boys running wild. Like, the QE is the #1 bull market argument. The QE and the manufacturing index, which is like, a lot of people are still bullish. So it's not like everyone is saying it's bearish. There's a lot of people saying it's bullish. But then if you start looking at Bitcoin divided by SPY, it's actually also very bearish. Now you made a lower low here. And people are acting like, oh, that means it's bullish. That's not good. It's actually really bad. Like, dude, we should be upset because the Bitcoin that we love is dead. The fact that Bitcoin divided by SPY is now, it's not even a buy and hold anymore. It's actually a trade. Because Bitcoin is struggling to outperform SPY. That's really bad, man. So like, if you bought the top in 2021, you're actually better off buying SPY. That's what this means. If you bought the top in 2021, you actually lost money buying Bitcoin because look at it, look at where it is compared to just buying SPY. Obviously, you made a little bit of money because the price is higher, but if you would have bought the S&P 500, you would have been doing better. So I actually think unless you're gonna buy the bottom, you're better off just buying SPY, which is sad because the Bitcoin that we love is gone. It's dead. There's too many people here now. We're too late. I mean, I found it early, but I still fucked it up anyway, so it doesn't even matter. And then again, this is another bullshit argument. People are saying that the bull run's not over because Bitcoin has 3 green candles. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Like, I give out hopium, but I make sure it's legit before I give it to you. Because I get high on my own supply. So if I wouldn't smoke some of that hopium, then I wouldn't tell you. But I mean, I said this the other day. Look at the size of these candles, man. Every market cycle, they're getting smaller. The third candle. Look. Look at this, dude. Look at the size of this. And then this. And then this. And that's why this one is red. But you know what's really, really bearish? If this candle turns green by the end of December, then you do have 3 green candles. And this would be the smallest one, which means next market cycle, it's going to be red. I can actually see this candle turning green. I think this candle will be green by the end, but it's not. It's going to be like 94,000. So then you could still say, look, you had 3 green candles. But like you can see it, look at the size. You had Tyrone, then you had Daquan, then you had Fat Boy, and now you have Non-Ngoyan. So it's like next time there's not even going to be a candle. So it is what it is. Bitcoin Bajan for 10 says, I've been living on hopium, but starting to think it's over. Just stunned Ethereum didn't hit 6K. I appreciate the 10. Yeah, I don't think anybody would have imagined Ethereum just making barely an all-time high. You know? Like, who would have ever imagined that? I don't think there was probably one person anywhere that would say, oh, Major General Tao sent me 2 super chats. He said, all in, guys. Let's go against the data. I don't know, man. That's not good. Yeah, Bitcoin Bajan sent me 2 super chats. My bad, dude. I wanted alt season so bad. Just wasn't in the cards. If we break 100K, maybe alt season is possible. I've been living on hopium, but starting to think it's over. Just on Ethereum didn't hit 6K. Such a frustrating cycle. Yeah, I appreciate the super chats, man. That's awesome. I really do. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's just disappointing in every aspect. There was no alt season. Ethereum didn't make a new all-time high. I mean, I guess technically it did. Barely, you know? Like, come on, man. What is that shit, man? That's sick. That's why it's, for everyone, it's just a disappointing cycle. It's tough to believe that it's over. But if you look at the data, it says it's over. Like, you have to understand that you could just see Bitcoin has never had a bull market once you get the first red candle. If you're going to argue COVID, then my argument after that would say, all right, well, you fell by 40%. So if we fall by 40%, then you can get your bull market. It's tough. But I mean, that's crypto, man. If everyone made money, I guess that's what everyone says. If everyone got rich, then it wouldn't be a thing. Which Ethereum just had a red year, which is sick. But that's what it is. It's two green bars, one red. This one was two red. Oh wow, 2019 was red for. Wow, 2019 was red for Ethereum. How could that be? Ah, because it pumped. Yeah, that makes sense. Barely. But I appreciate the 20, man. It helps a lot. I think it's not over. Institutions. I hope JP Morgan doesn't repress retail. I mean, listen, I'm not going to try and convince you guys to sell or buy. You got to do what's best for you. Genuinely. If we go back up and make a new all-time high, then so be it, right? If that is your belief. I will tell you this as a hopium bone. The next 2 months is your chance to do that, which we already said this. The weekly stock RSI has crossed bullish. So if you're a moon boy, this is your chance. From now until February is your chance to make a new all-time high. Every single time Bitcoin has made a new high this market cycle, it was when the RSI went from oversold to overbought. So if we come to March and if we come to February and we made a new all-time high, congratulations to the Moon Boys. If we come to February and it's still below 100K, but the RSI is up here, you know it's about to go straight down. Because even in a bull market, look at the retracement sizes from oversold, sorry, from overbought to oversold. This one was 21%. This one was 30%. This one was 20%. So it's like, yo, if we're still at 100K and then it rolls over again, you're going to go down to 70,000, which doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal, but every single time you break this blue moving average, you go straight down to hell. So we would break the blue moving average, which means we're going straight down to hell. So I cannot stress for the Moon Boys, I cannot stress this enough. If you're still bullish, this is your chance. So if we're gonna break the cycle and make new all-time highs, it's never happened before, then so be it, right? Good luck. Like genuinely, it's not like a sarcastic. Like I hope it happens because then all my viewers will come back and everyone will make it. But if we get stuck, you have to be able to accept that it's over. You have to, because after that moment, we enter suffocation where it's just so bearish where it's like, holy shit, holy shit. And then look, you bottom and then we start over again. But it's just so bizarre that the last market cycle lines up perfectly with that. Yeah, it's really odd. I don't see them running the same play twice in a row. Look at the stock RSI, it's about to skyrocket. Ask yourself if you are still alive in 4 years. I have to find a new plan, bro. The crypto pipe dream is, it's not dead, but it's just the alt season. I actually think we could get alt season next time. But like, dude, look at the size of this head and shoulders on fucking Solana, man. You guys know if this breaks, we're just gonna go straight down, right? Maybe it doesn't and we get a new all-time high. But if this breaks, if Solana breaks $100, it's going straight down to like 40. Just ultimate suffocation. Suffocation. Because usually how coins move is if you move up fast, you move down fast. So there's really nothing here. So once we break 100, we go down to 86. And then when we break 86, we go right down to 46, brother. Brother. Good luck, chat. I wonder if we get a face melting rally to 115. I mean, that shouldn't happen if it's a bear market. So if it is a bull market, you'll probably get that. That's why I'm telling you, if you're a moon boy in the chat, your time to shine is coming now. It is. Don't let the bears tell you to sell or short, because even if it's a bear market, we would still bounce. But what I'm saying is, if we come up here and we still did not make a new all-time high, that is the final exit pump before oblivion. All right. So the moon boys are back in control for the next 2 months, I think. So if you're bullish, I think I'm bullish too for the next 2 to 3 months, I think. Is there a chance QT ending on Monday? I mean, listen, I'm not a big guy on the news personally. I mean, listen, last Fed meeting, we got another rate cut and we went down anyway. So I'm not a believer in the market news. I don't really think it matters personally. I know some people do, and there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe they're right, but it doesn't matter what the Fed says, man. We already broke all the moving averages. So the S&P is pumping higher, but we're not. But I want to reiterate this. Only one bear market in Bitcoin's history did the S&P go down with Bitcoin. So like Ron Walker's already readjusting his plot. He has to be open to the possibility that Bitcoin actually tops without SPY most of the time. Look at where the S&P topped in 2018 and look at where we are. The bear market's about to end. In 2015, look at where the S&P topped. The bear market was actually over for Bitcoin. It was only in 2022 did the S&P top with Bitcoin, which again, look, when the S&P started going down, Bitcoin was about to go straight down. So it's the S&P could actually follow us, but still, I mean, look at how high up it is. It's unlikely. It's unlikely that SPY breaks this, which is really fucking sad because it's like if you could have bought this dip and never been broke ever again. I think the only way SPY breaks this low is if we get some type of COVID crash. Which, I mean, it's not impossible because why else would they do QE? But even a 35% meltdown, yeah, I don't see that happening. Yo, what if that shit happens, blood? You think that can happen again, chat? And then they start QE? Yo, you think that's possible? The S&P just pumps, and then something happens. It goes straight down. And then that's when Bitcoin bottoms, and then they start QE and we just go up. It's worth paying attention to. ChatGPT said alt season's getting started. Alt season will be nice, man. China's about to attack Taiwan. The amount of printing is insane. There won't be any gigantic crashes like COVID. I don't know if that's true, man. 35% isn't really that bad. QQQ had a 40% bear market last. Yo, that's almost as big as the 2008 crash, dude. What the fuck? Man, that 2022 bear market for stocks was such a good... It just sucks that crypto sucks. The 2008 crash for the QQQ was almost the same size as the 2022 crash. That's sick. It was 15% more, but like we had a bear market for no reason. This one was actually bearish. This was the real problem right here. Man, I wish I was a stock guy. Yeah, but now all the crypto people are gonna buy stocks, and then stocks is gonna go down. They're gonna rotate. Right now, everyone is selling their crypto for the stock market, and then it's gonna fall. Just like silver. I mean, I'm not a silver guy, but you see everyone posting silver charts all over the world. It's like you don't even get a chance to get out. It just prints a red candle. Yeah, God bless. You know, it is what it is, dude. Crypto sucks. Bitcoin will not go lower than 40K. Yeah, I agree. I don't think we're going low. I don't even think we're going down to 40K. I think that's too low. $40K is too low for sure. Maybe religious fanatics think there'll be World War III. Who knows, brother? I know I had a late stream today, but I said yesterday I was gonna stream late. I just had to do something today. So not the best stream, but I didn't want to not stream because I'm trying to stream every day. But once it gets so bad to where people just stop showing up, that shouldn't happen until like January or February. Fortnite servers are down. How the fuck would you know that? That's a good one. Dude, I remember when Fortnite first came out, I found the top in 2017. That was 7 years ago. Wow. Yeah, I've officially been in crypto for 7 years. Right? 8 years. Oh, man. 8 years I've been doing this. Unbelievable. Get fucked. Alright, chat. But we'll leave it there. Quick little stream today. We'll be back tomorrow. Happy Goyam is gambling on soccer again. Happy Goyam says, fuck crypto, I'm gambling on Liverpool. Alright, chat. Bitcoin Bajan says Ethereum bottom 800 bucks. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what ETH BTC is going to do. Let's see what ETH BTC does on the rally. But if it ends up turning bearish... Alright, let me tell you this. If this ends up happening for ETH BTC, then yes, Ethereum's going back to 800 bucks. I know Mr. Ben Cohen's looking for a pump on ETH BTC, but honestly, if that doesn't happen, then yeah, we're going to 800 for ETH. But quick little stream today, but we'll be back tomorrow, regular stream. I didn't want to not stream, but I do appreciate you guys tuning in for a nice little hour stream, not bad. As always, none of this is financial advice. Appreciate all the super chats, prayers for Monad. Nah, I think he sold. Yeah, he sold. I mean, it went up a little bit anyway, but all right, gentlemen and the five ladies, God bless. I'll see you guys tomorrow. None of this is financial advice. I appreciate all the super chats, all the support, and bye.